Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Average Film Enjoyer. We are your Average Film Enjoyers, Trey and Evan. Unfortunately, Jagger could not join us today. Might be good to get a break from his ill takes,
His
as
illness.
we like to call him. No, he is away visiting with his grandparents this weekend, so it's just going to be us two today yapping about some Kubrick, the start of Peak, in my opinion.
Yes.
And let's see. Evan, how are you doing? How was your week?
Week's been good. I did my first shift baking. Very
Yeah.
hype. That was
Yeah.
great. I got 2 more weeks until I'm a full-time baker, so that's really sick.
That's a W.
It's currently minus 36 degrees outside with a wind
Jesus
chill
Christ.
of minus 47, so it's very cold outside, and I don't plan on leaving the house for the weekend.
Hell yeah. Lots
'Cause
of movie watching.
Lots of movie watching because it's too cold. I just
Yeah.
start my car every hour just to make sure the engine doesn't die.
Yeah, like the gas doesn't fucking freeze.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
So,
that's-
other than that, I've been watching some good movies. I went and saw The Beekeeper last night, and I'll touch on that in a bit.
Yeah, saw your review.
The PEAKeeper, bro. Holy shit. We'll get to it.
Uh,
Yeah, it's been good. How about you?
Yeah. Oh, it's been good. Still looking for a job. The job market where I'm living is not, it's very slow.
Dude.
And I really want a job because I'm losing my fucking mind because I haven't been able to afford nicotine in like a week. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ, let me get a job so I can get a pack of cigarettes.
Dude,
no,
I feel that.
but-
I've been out of university for 2 years, and I just got a job
Yeah, it's
4
crazy.
months ago.
And it shouldn't be as hard. I'm applying to like 2 jobs every day, and I haven't heard back
Yeah.
from any of them.
Sucks.
So still working on that. Been watching a lot of movies. Catching up on The Office. I've been doing an
Hell yeah.
Office rewatch.
Nice.
And Michael just left.
Okay.
So I might call it quits because it's fine after he leaves, but it's not great.
Yeah, but then the end of season 8, season 7, 8.
7 he leaves.
Yeah, and then right before the finale, you have the one. It's one of my favorite episodes where Angela goes to the farm and takes care of Dwight's aunt.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Dude, it's such a good episode.
And then you get James Spader coming in as Robert California.
One of the
Just
great
peak
characters
comedy.
ever. So funny. Would you like a nature metaphor or a sex metaphor? You know what?
Nature, I guess. See,
When-
it's like when 2 animals have sex, Jim.
He's like, no, I'm going to use the sex metaphor. He's so funny, bro.
Yeah, it's so good. You don't know who I am. I'm the fucking Lizard King.
Ugh.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been rewatching that, rewatching some good movies, watching some okay new ones. Apparently, I need to watch Southland Tales.
Dude, that movie is crazy.
With Dwayne Johnson, which Evan will
And
touch
Sean
on
William
later.
Scott.
W. But yeah, it's been a good week. It's been, I think it's supposed to get to some snow this weekend, which is a rarity.
Where do
here.
you live?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
So it's usually in the winter like 38 degrees and raining.
Yeah.
Which I'd much rather it be snowing. Because cold rain just isn't fun.
No.
But into it, we got movie news this week. Jonathan Majors had his first interview since being found guilty of assault. Says he deserves a second chance. Absolutely not. No one hire this man. No, you can't do that, what he did, and then come back and act in Hollywood.
Absolutely not.
Even though I'm sure some people have done it, just don't, please. There's plenty of great actors out there. Oh,
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to talk about that we hadn't talked about when we did our Golden Globes. Did you notice how massive Daniel Kaluuya looked?
No, I didn't.
Dude, if you go look up pictures of Daniel Kaluuya at the Golden Globes, like he looks just like he's walking around like this. Like he looks like he's just been pumping steroids. And I don't know if it's for a role or something. I don't know. But I'm interested because when you see that much of a physical transformation, it's definitely
Hmm.
sometimes a good thing to see from an
I wonder
actor.
what's he cooking.
But yeah, he looked like he walked out on stage at the Golden Globes and was just like massive. It was crazy. Um, let's see what else in movie news. We got let's see. What's that new horror movie that I can't remember the name
Oh
of it?
yeah, the
I want
long
to.
legs or something like that.
Yeah, that trailer that's like sweeping the internet.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
slowly moving
There
up
was a
on my most anticipated for the year.
yeah, Neon's been cooking.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Because that trailer is really creepy.
Yeah, there's a new one that came out this morning. It was just like 20 seconds long, but it was really creepy.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. More peak horror. I feel like we've been getting some great horror movies these past few years.
Yeah.
Among a
2023
lot of
was not
shit.
2023 was not as good as 2022, but
Yeah. I mean, what else did we have in 2022? Because 2023 you had like Boogeyman, which was all right.
we had Evil Dead and Talk to Me, which are peak.
Evil Dead Rise was. Oh yeah, Nope. The Menu. Both were. You had X. Oh
Terrifier
damn! I didn't
2.
realize how great of a year for horror this was.
Yeah, really peak.
Barbarian,
Barbarian.
Pearl, Bones and
Smile.
All.
Was Smile 22? I don't remember.
I am a Smile
There's
defender. I
yeah,
really
same.
enjoyed that
I like
movie.
Smile a lot.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
I've got two deep cut horror films from 2022 that I would love to shout out. First
Oh,
one, it's called Sissy. It's on Shudder. That's where I watched it. It's
oh,
about
Shutter is peak.
Shudder's amazing. This movie is crazy. It's super dark comedy, super gory, really fucked up, super fun. It's like this a bunch of friends go to a
Yeah.
house party for like a bridal shower. I highly recommend it. It's really fun. The other one is called Deadstream. Have you seen that, Trey?
No, I haven't.
This is about a guy who he's like an internet prankster, like a jackass type dude, and he
Okay.
does something that gets himself canceled. So he decides to redeem himself by live streaming at night in the most haunted house in the US. It
Oh
is one of the
damn.
funniest movies I've ever seen. It's on Shutter too. It's
Okay.
it's like got this Twitch chat background during a bunch of the scenes, and it's like
Yeah.
illness. It's so funny.
Shout out to Shutter.
Yeah.
What a we last year we also got or 2022 I guess 2 years ago we also got Studio 66,
Yep.
the Foo Fighters horror movie, uh, Peak. Um,
Oh yeah, and we got the Sadness.
oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Sadness is on Shutter as well. I think it's Vietnamese. It's a zombie type movie where the infection makes you extremely violent and also very sexual. So
Yeah,
it's
that
super
sounds
fucked up.
kind of wild.
It's crazy. Super gory, really fun.
Watcher was 2022.
Watcher's
Did you see
awesome.
that
Yeah, I
Hulu?
love Watcher.
Yeah, that was really good. And then one of my personal favorites that I thought was super underrated, Fresh.
I
Fresh
loved
was
Fresh.
so
Fresh was
good.
awesome.
Oh my gosh. I mean, first of all, Sebastian Stan,
King.
just, just what a guy. What a guy. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It felt like it feels weird using this word, but it felt like very fresh. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't. It didn't feel derivative. It felt very original.
God,
Um,
2022 is such a banger. I'm going to rattle off a few. I don't know if you've seen
yeah.
any of them. We got Resurrection, which I also watched on Shutter, I believe,
Oh,
with
is that
Rebecca
Rebecca?
Hall.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I love Rebecca Hall. God,
that
she's the
movie is
goat.
so creepy. Tim Roth and Rebecca Hall, really,
Un-
really creepy.
Underrated scream queen, Rebecca
Yes.
Hall.
Talk about The Night House.
Dude,
What
so
a
good.
scary ass movie. And
Yeah,
it's like really digs at your heart too. Like it's got good
yeah.
themes and amazing acting.
That movie's really damn good.
Yeah, we got The Black Phone, which I don't think is a particularly scary movie, but I think it's really good. Some
Oh, it's great.
amazing child performances in that.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And we got Speak No Evil, also another Shutter.
Oh, I haven't
It's a
seen that one, but
Danish
I've
movie.
heard really good things
Very
about
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one I got to shout out is Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that one
Hysterical.
as
You gotta
well.
watch it. It's so funny.
Wasn't Pete Davidson in that one?
Yeah, Pete Davidson's in it.
Okay. The Blackening is apparently marked as a
Dude.
2022,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, I have that on my 2023 ranks,
So do
and
I.
I really enjoyed that one.
I
I
thought it was
thought that,
hilarious.
yeah, I had a great time with it. Let's
Yeah,
see.
so I think we've gotten a lot of really great horror movies
Oh,
recently.
Deadstream. I found it. It's on
Yeah,
my watch
it's
list.
hilarious.
You gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, I think it's fucking hysterical, dude. It's
Nice.
it's ridiculous. It's so over the top.
Yeah.
It really digs into those like horror tropes of what stupid people do, and it's like,
Oh, hell yeah. That's a W.
yeah, it's great.
But shout out to Barbarian.
Oh,
God,
shout out
dude.
to
What
Barbarian.
a wild ass movie. Oh my gosh, that
That
movie is great.
that movie is like, I watched a trailer. I was like, this looks creepy as shit. And then you go in and it's got some of the funniest scenes of the year. You have Justin Long measuring the basement
God,
dungeon.
dude.
Hysterical.
Oh
It's
my
probably one of the
God.
funniest scenes of 2022. Oh my God. It's so good.
That movie, yeah. And that, shout out to Barbarian. I did like 3 movie reviews on my Instagram before I got sober. Barbarian was the first movie review I ever did on any social media. Shout out to Barbarian. We love that.
There's been some stinkers too, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially from last year.
I got the Halloween
What was that?
Ends and Kills. 2022 was
Dude,
Halloween Ends, which is
Halloween
just
Ends was just like so bad.
I already don't like the Halloween movies, so
Have you heard of have you seen Soft and Quiet?
yeah, I hated it.
God, dude, what's the fucking point of that movie? It
It's
made
terrible.
me the only reason I gave it 1 star was
Yeah.
because it was what the entire movie
It's
was
one
one
take.
shot.
Yeah.
One take.
I
thought that
saw-
was so impressive.
Yeah, I saw Seth from Real Talk review it, and I was like, wonder what this is. So I watched it, and I was like, I think I fast forwarded through a few scenes because it was just infuriating to watch, and I was like, I'm over this.
It wasn't. It's like, it's not like we're gonna scare you with ghosts. It's like
No,
we're
it's-
gonna make you see how fucked up people really are.
Yeah, the scene with the nuts and the
Oh my
EpiPen
God, dude.
it's the worst.
It's so bad. And at the beginning, when you don't realize what's happening, like what meeting
Yeah.
they're at, you're like, oh, okay, I'm interested. This is interesting. I don't know what's going on, but it's interesting. And then you realize they're like white Aryan women alliance or whatever, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
they
damn,
take the
they're
tinfoil
terrible
off the
people."
pie, and it's just a swastika on the pie.
And
Like,
you're like, oh shit, I
God.
actually kind of like some of them. Now I'm like, ah,
such a bad.
God, dude, I hated that movie.
Moving into 2023 really quick for horror releases,
Yeah.
because I think this episode is just going to be a big Yap session.
Hell yeah, dude.
I would love to talk about Megan and what a piece of shit it is.
Okay,
It's-
I'm not gonna like super
Yeah.
defend it. I'm not gonna be like, this movie was amazing. I don't think it was amazing. I thought it was pretty good, but I think it's yet another movie that would have been better if it was rated R.
Okay. So, I did not see this in the theaters. I waited for the unrated cut to come out because I had the same mentality as you. I was like, if you're going for a Chucky movie, like you need
Yeah.
it to be rated R. The unrated cut had 2 scenes of gore. The movie was the exact
That's
same,
so
except they don't
stupid.
cut away from the kills. But the gore wasn't any good. I think this movie is so ridiculously boring. The first,
valid.
it's a long movie too. It's almost 2 hours. It's like an hour 50, I think. Hour 45, maybe.
I think it's an hour 40. Yeah, 102 minutes. That's
Okay,
too long
yeah.
for a horror movie, like a slasher,
It's especially
dumb horror movie.
it's too long for a movie where the first 70 minutes is nothing. There's no kills for the first like 2/3 of this movie.
Yeah.
You get her pulling that kid's ear off, which is cool, but like,
Dude,
God,
that was fucking
it's
sick.
such a boring movie.
Yeah, it's not. It's nothing
yeah.
impressive, you know. And I still don't know why we're getting a second one, but
We're getting
whatever.
like multiple, dude. They're gonna just milk it until they're out, because they'll do Megan 3 with the 3 as the E, and then they'll do Megan 4 with the A as a 4. Like they're just
Yeah.
gonna keep going.
Yeah, but that Gerard Johnstone, the guy who directed that, I want to shout out another one he did called Housebound.
Haven't
It's
seen that.
a uh, it's kind of a deep cut. It's a horror movie based in New Zealand. Like it's a New Zealand
Okay.
horror movie. So it's kind of creepy, but then everybody starts talking and it's kind of silly because that's just how a New Zealand accent is.
Yeah.
They're just kind of silly. They,
Yeah.
they they just sound
They
like
sound
so.
friendly.
Yeah, they could be saying the worst thing like, "Hey, hey, bud, hey, you can go to hell, bud," and
Yeah.
you're just like, "Oh, thank you." But I want to shout out that one. That one's a fun time. But yeah, there's been. I mean, there was a even this year there was a lot of poopy horror.
Yeah, we had Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, stinker, big time
I
stinker.
haven't seen it yet. I can't say
It's
anything about it.
okay, honestly, I went in knowing exactly what I was getting.
Yeah,
It's not a good movie. There's some funny kills. Like there's a point where Pooh and I can't even remember the other one's name at this point. They drive over this girl's head and there's a shot of her eyeball shooting out as the like tire crushes her skull. It's not bad. Like the gore is fine.
yeah,
It's not bad. Five
yeah,
Nights at Freddy's, I hated it. I fell
yeah. It's not
asleep.
good.
I fell asleep
Uh,
and I did not go back to watch the rest of it.
Saw X, pretty good.
Peak.
It was
Peak.
pretty good.
I almost gave it 5 stars. I loved it.
I think Jagger might have given it 5 stars, and we have Saw 11 coming out
Yeah.
this year.
Oh, it's coming this year? Hell yeah.
Yeah, in like October, I think.
I'm a big fan of the Saw franchise. I always have been.
Mm,
And the way they did Saw 10, where literally the first half of the movie is just John Kramer backstory, was really effective because normally when you go to a Saw movie, you're like, I don't really care about these people, but the traps are fun to watch people die.
exactly.
In Saw 10, Saw X, whatever, you are like, these are scumbags, and I'm loving watching John Kramer succeed.
Yeah. Um. We also got Cobweb this year. With
I
Lizzie
actually
Kaplan.
like Cobweb.
I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it too. I love seeing Lizzie Kaplan. It felt like very out of her norm of
Yeah.
what she usually does, and I really appreciated that. Anthony Starr was terrifying.
Terrifying.
Uh,
I almost didn't watch it because I'm a huge arachnophobe. I hate spiders.
yeah,
So I was asking a bunch of people in the Discord, the Real Talk Discord, and I was like, are there a lot of spiders in this movie? Am I going to be okay? And they're like, there's not that many. So if you're also an arachnophobe listening, you'll be fine. There's no
yeah.
spider jump scares. There's a couple scenes of like spiders walking across a kid's desk.
Well, and
It's,
also, isn't at the end spoilers? Isn't
yeah.
the sister? Isn't she like a creepy spider?
Yeah.
Thing?
Well, she's arachnid type, but
God,
she
dude.
doesn't look like a
She
spider.
She was so scared.
Yeah.
For like, if I'm watching horror movies by myself, for maximum effectiveness, I lay in my bed, I put my computer right on my chest, so all I
Oh,
see
God.
is my screen, and turn off all the lights and put
That's
on noise
crazy.
canceling in my AirPods. So I'm just like completely sucked in, and I was watching it like that, and my heart was just like, just beating so fast, and oh, that sister, man. Creep me out. We also got The Peak's Exorcist
Oh
with
my
Russell
God, what a
Crowe.
peak movie. Oh my
Dude,
God. So
just
funny.
give me a whole movie of Russell Crowe riding a Vespa
Yeah.
and sassing demons.
Dude, this movie it takes itself so seriously while not taking itself serious at all. It is
Yeah.
hilarious. It has this weird dark tone to it, but there's so many jokes, and Russell Crowe is like talking about soccer with these demons.
You can
They're like,
tell-
I'm your biggest nightmare, and he's like, my biggest nightmare is England losing or something like that. Like,
Yeah, you can tell he had so much fun making that movie.
the ending, quick spoiler warning, when he turns into the demon, the CGI is ridiculous. Not good, but like
Yeah.
so entertaining.
Yeah.
We got The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I don't know
I
if
didn't
you
see
saw.
that. I haven't seen
It's
that
not
part
bad.
yet.
My expectations may have been too high for it, which is weird for it getting mediocre reviews.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining. The kills are good. But yeah, like horror, we've had a lot of fun horror movies. And I think
Yeah.
2024 will probably continue that.
I mean, we
It
got
seems that
Nosferatu. We got the
yeah,
new Quiet Place movie. We got that one with Catherine Newton, Lisa Frankenstein. That
yeah, and
honestly looks kind of dope.
this isn't horror. I just gotta pull this up on. I saw this when I was going on discussing films for Film News. We've got a Bride of Frankenstein movie coming out,
Oh, I didn't know
made by
about that.
Maggie Gyllenhaal,
Oh, I
starring
did see a tweet about that.
yeah, right here. Jesse Buckley, Christian Bale, Annette Bening, Penelope Cruz, and Peter Sarsgaard will all star in Maggie Gyllenhaal's Bride of Frankenstein
Yeah,
movie.
stacked
W.
cast, bruh.
We were just talking about Jesse Buckley last week too, with them thinking of ending things like
Yeah. We got
Big
Smile
W.
2 coming out this year. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. The Wolf Man, which I'm really excited for.
Even though they just recast.
Yeah, freaking Lee. But here's the W. Lee Winnell is directing. And
Is he?
my guy Lee Winnell just cooks.
So good.
Oh my god, dude, he's masterful behind the camera. I went on.
What do you?
I went on another podcast who we've had on here a few times, the Film Somniacs podcast, and we recorded like a 3 or 4 hour episode about The Invisible Man.
Oh yeah! Wow,
and, dude, that movie. That's one of my favorite. I think that's in my top 10 horrors of all time.
Nice.
The Invisible. Dude, that movie is so good.
We've got Terrifier 3 coming.
Yeah.
Christmas movie.
Very excited.
Art the Clown in a Santa costume. Gonna be amazing.
So good.
What do you think about Quiet Place Day 1?
I mean, neither of the Quiet Place movies have been bad. I think I haven't logged either of them, but A Quiet Place will probably be almost a 5, and then A Quiet Place 2 will be like a 4, 4.5. So they're on a good trajectory. I don't know how I feel about not having John Krasinski at the head.
Yeah,
but the guy we talked about this a couple weeks ago. He also directed Pig with Nick Cage, and that is an amazing film. So I don't know. I'm cautiously hopeful.
I think the idea of a day one is really exciting because watching people try to learn is always really suspenseful.
Yeah,
and these movies are built on suspense. John Krasinski not behind the camera. It sucks, but also, Quiet Place 2 has Cillian Murphy. No Cillian Murphy is an L, so
it always is.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Let's
transition.
I mean, we're also getting the new Strangers trilogy.
Oh,
Strangers
really?
Chapter 1.
Okay.
And there's going to be 3 of them, and I've seen both of the other ones, and they're pretty good. Just fun, like home invasion slashers. So looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. Speaking of Cillian Murphy, let's touch on 28 years later.
Yes, another piece of movie news. Wow, what a transition!
Insane. God damn.
Evan just out here cooking.
That was crazy.
No, we got news. When was that? Was that today? It was in the past few days.
Yeah.
That Alex Garland and Danny Boyle, 2 goated directors, are in works right now creating 28 years later, a 3rd movie in the 28 Days trilogy, I guess. There's 28 Days Later, which you can only really find on physical media. It's never streamed anywhere. Really? I was lucky enough to find a DVD copy at Goodwill one day.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I was just like, oh, yes, I need that.
Dude, shout out the thrift stores for buying movies.
For real, dude.
Goodwill? Dude, I got a like steel book of The Social Network for $6 a couple weeks ago.
I got one of my first trips ever when I started collecting physical media. I got a copy of Fellowship of the Ring, a Blu-ray 4K, and 2 Towers, both for like $6 each.
That's awesome.
And they were unopened. Like they still had the plastic on them.
That's awesome.
And I was like, God, what a steal.
Yeah, especially when movies are so expensive. Like especially in Canada where I live, like I paid $38 for my Oppenheimer 4K.
Yeah, that's about what it is here.
Oh, is it? And then I paid $30 for a Barbie Blu-ray.
That's
which felt a
expensive.
bit expensive.
But
Yeah,
also, I never buy the only ones I'll buy like brand new are like Criterions or like
yeah.
for like special edition like 4Ks or Steelbooks.
I wish I
Like
could get Criterion's here.
no, why can't you?
They don't sell them. They sell. So the store I usually go to buy movies has three Criterions. They have The Elephant Man, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Triangle of Sadness, and Parasite. That's it. There's no because
That's a
Barnes and Noble.
depressing
I know because
three.
Barnes and Noble has a bunch of
Yeah, there's
Criterions,
no
and they have
Barnes
that
and
big. There's
Noble.
no Barnes and Nobles here, and
Yeah,
shipping from the Criterion website is $50 to where I live plus
that's
duties.
ridiculous.
So I don't. Yeah,
That's so crazy.
yeah.
Um,
Super
no,
sidetrack. Back to yeah.
yeah, I used to. Now I just like I get my physical media from like Goodwill, or I'll go eBay. Is can be
Yeah.
a really good spot. I found this guy on eBay who does these like mystery boxes. So for like
I've seen
25
those on
bucks,
TikTok. Those are
he'll
cool.
put he'll put like 50 just random DVDs in a box and send it to you. So there's a few weeks back where I ordered I ordered 3 mystery boxes from him. So 150
Damn.
or it was like 20, so it was 150 DVDs for like $50.
Dude, you
Just
gotta
an
send me the link
absolute
to that. That's
steal.
crazy.
I'll have to go find it. It's a while
Yeah.
back. And a lot of it, like it came in this huge, like massive box.
Was it
And
just the discs or cases too?
cases too. And a
Oh,
lot of
damn.
it was real crap. A lot of it wasn't
Yeah.
good stuff. And a lot of it was in pretty shit condition. But then like one in every like 3 or 4 movies was like a great movie and in pretty good condition. And I'm like, man, for that ratio, this is totally worth it.
Yeah.
And it's just fun opening it up and going
Oh,
through
yeah.
all of them and seeing what you got. But yeah, it's Goodwill, man. Goodwill and thrift shops, best
Yeah.
place to get physical media.
Shout out to Value Village in Calgary in
Oh,
Canada.
Value Village, we have a few of those around
Oh
here.
yeah,
Those are W's.
that's my go-to.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, back to 28 days later.
Yeah. I'm excited. I've never seen. I think we've both never seen 28 Weeks Later.
No.
But I've seen 28 Days Later, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I watched 28 Days Later only knowing it was a zombie movie, and I watched it with my mom, and good lord, the last act in the military base was not a fun time.
Dude,
I
watched it with
dark
my mom
ass
too.
movie. I was
And
not
you're just
expecting
like,
it.
Jesus, this is dark.
Yeah. I was expecting like Dawn of the Dead or something. So I'm really excited. I love Alex Garland. I love Danny Boyle. Sunshine is maybe one of the best sci-fi movies of all time.
Yeah.
Especially post 2000. Sunshine is awesome.
Yeah.
Have you seen Sunshine?
I haven't seen Sunshine, but I am looking forward to it. It's been high up on my watch list for a while.
It's an interesting movie because it takes a really, really big tonal switch in the last act to a full-blown horror movie.
Yeah.
When before it's kind of a sci-fi thriller. Some people love it, some people don't like it. So yeah, Sunshine's a cool movie. We'll have to chat about it once you watch it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I just saw something. David Gordon Green departing. 2025 Exorcist sequel. Search underway for new director. Praise the Lord.
Delayed indefinitely.
Dude, get someone good in here. Get someone good to take over this IP that will actually make a good horror film. Like, there's so many great horror directors out there. Just get someone good, give them creative control, and let them do what they do best.
Yeah. When I saw Halloween 2018, I was like, holy shit, I love David Gordon Green. This movie's awesome. The kills are great.
And then you saw the next one, and you were like,
and then,
oh man,
and then
he
lost all the juice. It's crazy. He
put it all into Halloween 2018.
Yeah. I don't know how you butcher a trilogy so badly. The first one is my highest rated Halloween movie.
That's honestly not a terrible take.
I know that a lot of people have it second or third. Some people love Halloween 2. I don't like Halloween 2.
I've only seen Halloween, the original, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, that might be my favorite one. Um, Even though I don't really even consider that a Halloween movie,
Yeah.
but it's fun. It's a
Yeah.
blast. Uh, no more days till Halloween. Halloween.
Oh my god.
God, that movie's so weird. And then I've only and then all the new trilogy.
Yeah. So
But I've
I've
heard the Rob Zombie ones are pretty good.
they're fucking ruthless. Some
Um,
people hate them, some people really like them.
yeah,
I watched all of the Halloween movies in October last year. I don't like Halloween. I think Laurie Strode is one of the weakest final girls, considering most of the movies she's in, except Halloween 1, she spends in a hospital bed doing nothing.
yeah,
It's ridiculous. I just don't like Halloween. I think
yeah.
that Halloween Resurrections with Busta Rhymes is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. If you want, this movie's terrible, but if you want a really good laugh, search up on YouTube Halloween Resurrections, like Kung Fu Kick, and you will witness Busta Rhymes Kung Fu Kick while going hi-ya, Michael Myers out of a window
There's no way that's true.
into some barbed wire where he is hanged. It's amazing. It's so funny.
That's
Busta
wild.
Rhymes is ridiculous in this movie. Yeah. So,
That's wild.
yeah, we'll see. Maybe David Gordon Green will stop making movies for a little bit and get his juice
Hopefully.
back. Yeah.
We also got. I mean, there's. So apparently on Peacock now you can watch the Harry Potter movies, but they added. It's like people are talking about like watching them for the first time again because they added all these deleted scenes.
Oh yeah.
And just added them in without telling anyone.
Interesting.
And so now you can just go watch them with all the deleted, like extended cuts, I guess.
Yeah. So,
And so some people are getting really confused. They're like, I don't remember this happening.
I own the Harry Potter and the whole thing on iTunes, and it doesn't anymore. Maybe that's why, because it's on Peacock now, but it used to come with the Chamber of Secrets extended cut, which was like over 3 hours long. And I love it. I love it. So that's cool. Go watch them. The extended cut for Chamber of Secrets is dope.
Yeah. I can't remember, Evan. Are you a Ghostbusters fan?
I have not watched them in my adult life, so I don't have much to say.
But you've watched the original,
I've seen the first one.
Okay, so obviously this year we're getting Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
I'm hyped for this. The original Ghostbusters is one of my top 20 of all time. I think that it's Bill Murray at his finest. Really, I think it's Bill Murray at his funniest. And I will die on that hill. I will take that take to my grave. And so we're through the trailers and some images we've got. It is obvious that the OGs are teaming up again, like the OG4. But obviously, Harold Ramis passed away a while back, so Egon will not be there. But it looks like, God, what's her name? Janine, the receptionist. She will, there's an image of the original three and then Janine all in suits. And
That's
it
cool.
looks like she will be taking Egon's spot, which I really, really enjoy. And it just makes me more excited for that.
Nice.
There's an Oppenheimer streaming release date.
Yeah, for Peacock.
On February 16th. So on February 17th, I will have Oppenheimer logged 3 more times.
I wish we had Peacock here.
You don't have Peacock?
Nope. It's not available in Canada.
That sucks.
That's okay. I own it. We also have, to my dismay, personally, Top Gun 3 is in the works with Joseph Kosinski set to return. I have been very vocal about this to a lot of people, not on this podcast. I do not like Top Gun Maverick. I think it has some of the most incredible action set pieces I've ever seen in my entire life. And the third act is out of this world perfect. This movie is so bloated with annoying ass romances, cheesy shit. I don't think it's entertaining. I think the movie just is, Any scenes where they weren't in the planes, I was like, fast forward this shit. I don't think it has any business being in the best action movies of all time list.
Oh no, definitely not. But here's what I will say. I'm a massive fan of the original Top Gun.
Oh, okay.
I think it's really bad,
I
but
haven't
I
even
think
seen it.
it's like that perfect '80s
Yeah.
cheesy guy movie. You should definitely check it out. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
I was
really
just
fun.
dragged by my brother and dad to go see Top Gun Maverick, and I was like, "Do I need to watch the first one?" And they're like, "We'll tell you what happens." And I was like, "Okay."
You should definitely watch it. It adds some layers to Top Gun, and I don't like when people reboot these movies that don't need to be rebooted. Um, and I walked into Top Gun Maverick wanting to hate it so bad. I wanted to walk out and be like, God, that was so terrible. Because I think the Ghostbusters remake with all
Oh
females
yeah.
kind of left a bad taste in my mouth as far as 80s reboots go.
Right.
So I just wanted to hate it so bad. And I walked out and I was like, fuck, that was great.
The
That
action
was
is
so
incredible.
damn
The
good.
action is insane.
and
I
I felt like all the emotional beats hit as a fan of the original.
Yeah. That
And
might be where it like misclicked for me.
so I think you should watch the original and then
Yeah.
give it a rewatch and
Maybe
see
I'll
if your
rewatch
thoughts
both.
change.
Yeah, because I own Top Gun Maverick.
But yeah, the action sequences.
They're crazy.
Fucking
It is the most in like the fact that you're sitting there and you're like, logically I know this is real because I've seen everyone say it, but it's like you can feel it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and the scene where they are the first like dogfighting scene and
Oh my
training,
God.
and what song is playing? I think it's something by the Who is playing in the background.
The training scenes were awesome.
I eat that shit up, man.
Yeah.
And Glenn Powell. Oh my God.
Oh, he's great.
Glenn Powell as Hangman is everything I wish I was as a man. He is just, everybody's like, oh, Miles Teller is so cool. No, he's not. He's a fucking pussy in this movie.
He is. He's annoying.
Glenn Powell, bro, that guy, the definition of cool. He is, with the toothpick in his mouth.
He has a perfect casting.
Oh my God, dude.
Because they needed somebody like that.
Who's just like super overconfident and just
and like
he cooked.
the volleyball scene or the football scene, crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's one like that in the original.
Yeah, it's a volleyball scene, right?
Yeah. Have you seen it? They're all playing volleyball.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Jeans.
Yeah.
God, dude.
I was reading because IMDb has the trivia section. Apparently, Tom Cruise kept shooting that scene over and over again because he wasn't happy with it. So every time between takes, they would have to run to the gym and start pumping up again so their muscles could be popping. And it took like a long time to get that scene filmed because Tom Cruise was like, "Oh, it's not right yet."
Yeah, it's so good. That whole movie is so good.
Yeah, I'll go back to it. I might have been unfair.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out after viewing the OG. But let's get into. I mean, first of all, before we get into what we've been, or let's just. So usually here, since it is Friday, we would be going over the next movies in our Kubrick. But since Jagger could not join us today, and she wanted to be there, fuck. She wanted to be here. Sorry, I'm looking at movie news and a picture of Catherine Newton came up and it just slipped out. I apologize, Jagger. Since he wanted to be here, we will be going over 2001, A Space Odyssey and Doctor Strangelove on Tuesday. So today we will... What?
Alongside Spotlight.
Yes, alongside...
Yeah, triple feature.
Peak Light.
Yes.
Mark Ruffalo's best role. We will be I think we're just going to go over stuff we've been watching, stuff we've been enjoying. Just keep
get the
yapping.
letterbox going.
Evan, you want to open us with our first 2024 review of the year?
Yes, the PEAKeeper. I saw this shit last night in IMAX with my dad and my brother. To preface this, I gave this movie a 5 stars. I've seen every single Jason Statham movie that I can remember in theaters with my dad. We love them. We eat them up. They're not good. They're fun. So this is a very biased Jason Statham is my favorite action actor. Like, don't take my word for it, but still go see it because it's genuinely really badass.
Yeah.
It's so cheesy. The amount of B puns in this movie, Trey, is fucking
I love
insane.
it. I love
They
it.
every maybe 5 minutes for the hour 40 this movie runs, there's a B pun. It's crazy. Jason Statham says, "I need to protect the hive." 10, 15 times.
Is he talking about his family?
Okay, I'll give a quick rundown of the plot of this movie.
Yes, please.
So this movie is, it's kind of like if you've seen Nobody with shit.
Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk. It's kind of like,
but that's on my watch list.
so
Oh my god, dude.
Jason Statham, dude. No, let me say this really quick. Nobody is crazy. It's a 90-minute action movie. It is so entertaining.
I know. I've heard that. It's been on my watch list for so long. And I just need to watch it.
Christopher from Back to the Future.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd's in this movie, and he's dual wielding shotguns and just murdering people with a big smile on his face. No, in Nobody.
Oh,
go watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the PEAKeeper. It's kind of like Jason Statham worked for this organization called the Beekeepers. I'll keep it. I mean, not that you really care about spoilers for a movie like this. You're not going for the plot. No. You're going for kills. They are like an organization that works above the law to take care of when the hive, which is like society, is out of order. The beekeeper comes in to fix shit up. Something happens to Jason Statham that makes him mad, and he goes on a fucking rampage. And this man could rival John Wick easily. Shit you not.
Does he clear John Wick? Because we talk about underrated action movie heroes on this pod. We're talking about Mike Howell from American Ultra, Jesse Eisenberg's character, and how he would easily clear like John Wick and James Bond and guys like that. Does this guy clear John Wick?
I would love to touch on some spoilers for like 30 seconds, if you don't mind, Trey.
Go ahead.
Okay, mute for 30 seconds, fast forward, whatever. Starting now. In the third act of this movie, Jason Statham is actively trying to kill the president and her son. And he murks almost he kills the entire Secret Service in the third act of this movie. It's fucking mad. Dude, I'm telling you, he is a machine. Okay.
What are his weapons? What are his weapons of choice?
Okay,
every action hero, John Wick has the pistol. And
Okay, so no more spoilers. He is not focused on killing good guys like cops or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He does not intentionally shoot a gun until almost the third act of this movie. He's just wrecking people with his fists, fire.
Yeah,
he cuts a bunch of people in half with an elevator at one point.
That's sick as hell.
I'm telling you, this movie, don't watch the trailer if you haven't seen it. Go see it. It's ridiculous. The kills are really good. It's really funny. Like, there's so many B puns. There's a side plot with an FBI agent that I think anytime it cuts to it, you're kind of like, get me back to Jason Statham right now.
Yeah.
But it's even that part is not terrible. The Beekeeper is great. Go see it. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Before I touch on because I was thinking we could just go back and forth.
Yeah, let's go back and forth.
Before I touch on that, I want to ask, have you seen American Ultra?
Yeah, I did see it when I was like 13. I need to rewatch it. I remember it being fun though.
That's one of my favorite action movies. I had it a 4-star after rewatch. The first time I watched it with Ben from the Real Talk Discord.
Oh yeah.
And we hopped on it, and this is back when we were watching movies together like every night. Oh God, my computer does that. When I put a thumbs up, it does the bubble thumbs up. But Ben, I hopped on the call and I was like, hey man, I've had a hard day. I just want something easy, something light, something that I don't have to pay that much attention to. And we were like, how about this? American Ultra, dumb action movie with Jesse Eisenberg. And I was like, sure. I gave it 5 stars. We finished it and I was like, that's exactly what I needed. That movie was
That's how I'm feeling with the Beekeeper. Like, it's probably not going to stay a 5 stars, but right now it's a 5-star.
But you should rewatch American Ultra.
I'm absolutely going to.
Let me just read you this synopsis.
Yeah.
It is American Ultra is a fast-paced action comedy about Mike, a seemingly hapless and unmotivated stoner whose small life town with his live-in girlfriend Phoebe is suddenly turned upside down. Unbeknownst to him, Mike is actually a highly trained lethal sleeper agent. In the blink of an eye, as his secret past comes back to haunt him, Mike is thrust into the middle of a deadly government operation and is forced to summon his inner action hero in order to survive. It's awesome.
Damn,
I mean,
that sounds hype.
and you got Jesse Eisenberg, you got Kristen Stewart,
Yeah.
you got Topher Grace,
Okay.
just popping up out of nowhere. You got Connie Britton from Friday Night Lights. Walton Goggins is in this.
The
John Leguizamo, Bill Pullman. I mean,
okay.
Just crazy.
Yeah, I'll be watching that this weekend when I'm snowed in.
It's so good, dude.
That sounds
it's so
awesome.
much fun.
Nice.
But let's see. First one on.
So I think we're going back to we recorded on the 9th.
Yeah, last time I talked about was Scanners. Here we go. Something we can talk about for a few minutes. Cheaper by the Dozen.
Oh my god.
I was feeling sentimental after we recorded because I think you brought up Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah, I did.
The Cheaper by the Dozen movies, 1 and 2, both just as good as the other.
Yeah.
Were movies I grew up on. I think they are fucking hilarious.
Dude,
and I
so
hadn't watched it since I was like 11. So I was like, you know what? Let's rewatch Cheaper by the Dozen. I know that's not a 5-star movie. But
It's a 5-star movie.
I wanted to give it 5 stars because of how much I love it. Dude, I cried.
Dude, when Simon loses he gets on the train and goes across to bury the frog or whatever it is.
Oh, dude, I get
sobbing.
So emotional. I get so
God.
Emotional, man. And I mean, you got some great early 2000s teen superstars. You got Tom Welling. You got Hilary Duff. I mean, it's just peak. It's
so good.
Steve Martin is so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Ashton Kutcher, absolutely hilarious.
The meat scene is an all-timer. It's an all-timer scene. Oh my god.
Or the sorry about your clothes, Hank. They'll be dry in no time. Just, God, dude. Movie's so good. We'll be watching Cheaper by the Dozen 2 this week.
Dude.
I honestly think I like that one more. Really,
Eugene Levy with just an absolute douchebag kid. Oh my god, it's so good.
He is so good in that movie.
I might watch Cheaper by the Dozen 2 tonight, I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, we should do a Cheaper by the Dozen 2 watch party.
Yeah, we should. True.
That'd be dope.
That'd be hype.
Dude, but yeah, it's great. It's
a classic.
It's a perfect feel-good movie. For people of our age, it's like it's the movie. It's the movie. Bonnie Hunt is great. Just an absolute blast of a film.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your next one?
Okay, so did I talk about the 8 Mountains last episode? I don't think I did. I think I watched this the night after we recorded.
Yeah.
I was recommended this 2 times in the Real Talk film raffle.
Yeah.
It is... I tried watching it once, and I wasn't able to just focus on it. I was getting distracted. Mm-hmm. It's 2.5 hours, and it's not in English. So I turned it off. I came back to it last week, or I guess this week. It's magnificent. I have it number 3 of the year 2023, just below Oppenheimer. It's it's about 2 friends.
It's a foreign film, right?
Yeah, it's Italian.
Okay, Italians cook with their cinema.
Yeah. So this movie's about 2 best friends, Pietro and Bruno. Mm-hmm. They kind of live in the Alps near the mountains.
Yeah.
And Pietro is the main character, and his dad is like a mountain. He loves to explore the mountains.
Yeah.
And the movie follows these 2 friends over 40 years. And they don't see each other for a long time. They come back together. They separate. It is so heartbreaking and really, really heartfelt at the same time. The bond these 2 share, even though they go 10 years without seeing each other. It's beautiful. I loved it so much. And the cinematography, there's a lot of scenes where they're climbing mountains. It's jaw-dropping. I highly recommend you guys watch this movie. It's streaming on the Criterion channel, which is not the most used streaming service. I use it a lot. I think it's amazing, but
yeah,
I highly recommend it. You can rent it too, I think, on Apple TV. It's really, really great. I loved it.
W.
I wrote a long. I was the first line of my review. Well, I have a little quote. It says, "Sometimes love dies little by little. Sometimes it dies all at once." Tear your heart out, bro. Crazy.
Just cooking with
Yeah,
that quote.
dude, it's so good. Uh, I live very close to the Rocky Mountains, and the first line of my review just says, "I think I have to drive to the mountains this weekend." Like, I just want to be there, bro. So yeah, I watched the Eight Mountains. Shout out to Remy and Ferdinand, Rare Ferdinand W.
Honestly, I find myself aligning with his takes a lot.
Yeah, except the shark
not all the
movies.
time, but a good amount.
Yeah, shout out to him for making me watch Megalodon and then Jurassic Shark and Shark Exorcist.
Was Megalodon, was that the one with Michael Madsen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made me watch that too.
Yeah, it's
it's
bad. It's so bad.
Shout out to Ferdinand if you're listening. Yeah. We love you, but the shark movies, man.
Yeah, but shout out for he's the one who introduced the Eight Mountains to all of us. I loved it. Yeah, so go watch it. Yeah.
Rango. Ferdinand, Rango. Yeah, Rango. I agree with you. Rango is peak cinema.
Rango's pretty peak, yeah.
It's so funny.
Okay. Yeah, what did you watch?
Let's see. Oh, I finished my rewatch of season 1 of Loki.
Nice.
I'm slowly doing an MCU rewatch just to prepare for these these newer projects coming up in the next couple years. Season 1 of Loki, it's not my favorite Marvel TV show, but it's really good.
It's good, yeah. The dynamic between him and Sylvie is really great.
Yeah, and him and Morbius.
And Owen Wilson.
We finally get like a wholesome friendship from Loki, which I really, really love. God, fuck Jonathan Majors, but dude
he kills it. I haven't seen Quantumania, so I can't talk about that, but he kills it, Loki.
He did the best he could have done in Quantumania.
Is it the last episode or the second last episode where he has the big speech?
It's the last one. And
that's
cooks,
amazing.
Man.
So good.
He's so good. But yeah, did a rewatch of Loki. I'll probably log it again once I get around to season 2, which will be for a while because I'm still like back there near Loki, which was like 2020. That show still doesn't beat. I love Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think I have that at a 4.5.
Okay.
The only thing keeping it from a 5 is the villains. The Flag Smashers are boring as fuck. But you got John Walker, Wyatt Russell playing John Walker.
I've heard really good things about Wyatt Russell in it.
Oh my god, dude. He plays he's called his character in the comics is called US Agent. He's like a kind of, I don't know. He's part of the Thunderbolts, which are kind of like I talked about last week, like the Dark Avengers. That he's really good in that. And the dynamic between Bucky and Sam is excellent. They're Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. Really, really.
Sebastian Stan never misses. Let's be honest.
He doesn't. I fucking love Sebastian.
He's so good. Yeah.
He's so fun. I wish I could be Sebastian Stan. I wish I could be Sebastian Stan. I'll just say it. He's great. I love him. I saw a video, to digress real quick, I saw a video of a fan interacting with him in New York. He was like in the middle of a run, and then he stops to get a hot dog in the middle of his run. And this fan's like, "What are you doing, man? I'm over here dying, and you're stopping to get a hot dog." And it's just like the most funny and wholesome thing. But yeah, nice. I watched Loki. Great show. Great season of TV.
Nice.
And we also get I'm pretty sure he's the dad in Saltburn. He plays like older Loki. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know his name either, but that scene where he like, did you see the first season of Loki?
Yeah.
Where he like conjures the city. Oh my god, dude. It's sick. So badass. What about you? Next thing for you. What was your next one?
Yeah. So I continued my kick from last week of depressing foreign films. Yeah. Eight Mountains, and then I watched Minari for the first time.
Oh my gosh. What a heartbreaking movie.
Yeah. I loved Minari. I I had heard that song, the Minari song on TikTok countless times, and I
Oh,
was like, man, this
everybody's heard
song's
it.
kind of
Jacob
sad.
and the
And then I hear
Stone.
this fucking song during the movie, and I'm like, I'm gonna find a bridge to jump off. Like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
dude.
Minari is amazing. Stephen Yun is so amazing. My God. I
Yeah,
love seeing
I love
him
him.
work in foreign films
Yeah.
because it seems like he feels very at home in them and very comfortable, which I love. The kids in Minari, fuck
Oh,
those
they were
kids, bro.
excellent.
Dude, these kids were ruthless. Like the grandma's like, just drink your soup, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna dump it in the toilet and piss in the bowl, and you can drink it. Like,
God,
what
dude,
an
I was
asshole.
laughing so hard.
Yeah, what an asshole, bro. Yeah,
Um,
Minari's third act was just truly heartbreaking, but I loved it a lot. I
and
want to
then
watch it again.
the neighbor, what's his name? That actor, he was also in, uh, uh, whatever that fucking movie's called. Remember the Titans. Will Patton
Oh, oh
plays
yeah,
the
yeah,
most
yeah, yeah.
wholesome character in Minari.
Yeah, they. He's like, "Can I come work on your farm?" And Steven Yeun's like, "No, you got to be Korean." He's like, "I was there. I was in the war." He's like, "Okay," and then they're just best friends.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
it's
so
awesome.
wholesome.
Yeah. No, Minari was
Um,
like a really perfect mix of heartbreaking and wholesome.
yeah. Well, and it's
I
so
love these.
understated too. It's
I
very
know. I
like
love these
intimate.
calm slice of life intimate movies because
It's
you
great.
just they take their time and you get just beautiful moments of landscape and you just sit there and appreciate this. Rice Boy Sleeps, which I talked about last episode, is a
Right.
prime example of this movie, of this
Yeah.
slice of life intimate, very understated. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of that type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
uh so yeah, I thought Minari was great.
Yeah.
I gave
Let's
it four
see.
and a half stars. It
Yeah,
might go
I
to a
think that's
five
what
on.
I think I have it at a 4 and
I
a
could
half.
see
I
it
really
going up.
enjoyed it. Let's see. Next one I watched Fever Pitch, with Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon.
Oh,
I remember watching this when I was probably 12 or 13 and enjoying it. I really just watched it because it's a baseball movie.
okay.
And I mean, baseball is it's the greatest game in the world. And if you don't believe that, go watch Field of Dreams, and then watch Sandlot, and then watch Moneyball, and then you believe it.
I never watched baseball live, and my only memories are seeing the Toronto Blue Jays live in person because I used to live in Toronto,
Yeah,
and my
yeah,
dad worked
dude.
for Shell, so got mad free
How
tickets.
what year was that? Or
I
what year?
was
Like
probably
around what
it was
year?
like 2007 to 2012,
Oh, who was on the Blue Jays then?
maybe 2011. Yeah, 2011, I
You
think.
guys
That's
have
when I moved back.
a sweet stadium though.
In Toronto, it's great. There's two. So there's the Rogers Center, which has the dome that opens. That's where they play baseball.
Yeah.
And then there's the
Yep.
Air Canada Center. I actually
Yeah.
saw U2 at the Rogers Center,
Oh,
and
okay.
they had a 360 tour. So the stage was this huge tower that went through the roof of the Rogers Center, and the
Yeah.
stage was a circle. So they would just go around and around the whole show. It was sick.
Yeah. Oh shit. No. Yeah. You were. That was a good era for Blue Jays baseball. There was
Yeah.
some. Roy Halladay, like the end of Frank Thomas's career. AJ Burnett.
Dude, I didn't know anything about baseball, and when I went to these games, it was like 35 degrees outside, and we were sitting near the front.
Mm-hmm.
I was blistering heat, and I'm like, there's 7 fucking innings. Like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I love baseball. I'm used to heartbreak because my team is the Oakland A's. So we, I think the stat from Moneyball, what that season, because that's how the A's run their team because they don't have any money, is they just buy a lot of really good up and comers, train them, make them into great players, and then they become great players, and then the A's can't afford them anymore, so they trade them away for more great young players.
Gotcha.
But they won in 2001. They won the same amount of games as the Yankees, and the Yankees had averaged $1.2 million per game. Like they were paying
Damn.
$1.2 million per win, and the A's were paying like $250,000 per win.
Jesus.
It's crazy. But yeah, I love baseball. But fever pitch, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Not good.
Oh God.
I'm a huge sucker for mid 2000s rom coms, especially the Farrelly brothers. They also did There's Something About Mary and Shallow Hal.
Peak. Dude, I saw Shallow Hal when I was a kid, and the only thing I remember about it was learning what cankles are from Jack Black. That's all I remember from it.
But yeah, this one it wasn't good.
Pretty stinky.
It was pretty bad. Jimmy Fallon isn't a good actor. I am slowly getting to the point where I hate Drew Barrymore. I just don't like her. I think she's super annoying. But yeah, not too many redeeming qualities about that one.
What'd you give it?
A star and a half. Yeah, it's nice. Pretty terrible. What about you? What next one for you?
My next watch was Contracted.
Oh, yes. From Mr. Eric England.
Yes.
Who may or may not be on the podcast in the future.
Yes. I watched this without knowing a whole lot about it. I read the synopsis. I was like, it sounds pretty brutal. I'm down.
Poster makes it look creepy.
Yeah, that shot is in the movie towards the end. It's fucking creepy. Her eyes. Yeah. I like this movie a lot. I think that it has a bit of a issue with the like melodramatic interactions between some of the side characters. Mm-hmm. The body horror in this movie is awesome. Oh my God. You just watch this poor girl devolve into like pure misery. Yeah. I won't spoil what happens to her because it's really just kind of shocking when it hits, but I had fun with it.
I might watch that one tonight.
It's on the best streaming service of all time, Tubi. Shout out Tubi.
Sponsor us, please.
Sponsor us, Tubi.
We love you.
Yeah. That was really great. I liked it, yeah. I'm probably going to watch the sequel at some point. I don't know if he directed it.
There's a second one?
Yeah, there's a second one. I'm not sure if
he
directed it, but I'll watch it just because the premise is cool. It's kind of like It Follows with the STD.
Yeah, the sexually transmitted demon.
Yeah, exactly. Except this is STZ, where it turns you into like a zombie because she just starts decaying.
Yeah.
The gore was really good. I wish there was a little bit more gore, but the gore you get is great.
Yeah. Are you a gore whore like myself?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dude, the gorier, if it's like a body horror or like a slasher, the gorier the better, dude.
Dude,
like Terrifier movies.
Give it to me.
Oh my
Give
God.
it to me.
I love it.
So I wish it had a little bit more body horror and gore, but the stuff that it had was amazing. Really, really good. I loved it. I gave that 3 stars.
W.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm excited to.
I'll probably rewatch it again before we have a chat with Mr. Eric England.
Hopefully.
Jagger
is in communications with him currently.
Cool.
And he has a few others that I'm looking forward to checking out that sound interesting. Next one, Fever Pitch was a real disappointment. So I followed it up with something that I thought or I knew I was going to love. And another shout out to Ferdinand. We're on the same level as this one. Mystic River.
Peak.
I've been delving more into Clint Eastwood's filmography. He's very hit or miss for me. I really enjoyed Gran Torino and The Mule and this.
I need to watch The Mule.
I hated American Sniper.
Really?
I thought that was really bad. But I don't like movies that glorify war.
That's fair.
I'm just not about that, you know. I'm more of an anti-war movie guy. So
we'll have a good chat about satirical takes on war soon.
Like Dr. Strangelove, Full Metal Jacket. I like stuff that, or like Hacksaw Ridge. You know, I like that.
Or like Come and See, where it's just
Exactly.
Very, yeah, that's
But yeah,
fair.
Mystic River, directed by Clint Eastwood, with peak lineup of actors: Sean Penn, Tim Robbins, Kevin Bacon, and Lawrence Fishburne. Just absolutely stacked cast. Emmy Rossum is in it as well.
Hmm.
Love of my life, Emmy Rossum. Whew, what a she is quite the actress. We love her.
Yeah.
Especially in have you watched Shameless?
I have seen some of Shameless. For personal reasons, it's a tough show for me to watch, so I will not probably watch the rest of it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
As
um,
alcoholism hits close in my family, and it's tough.
yeah,
My girlfriend has been binging it, and I walked in when Frank is being diagnosed with alcohol-induced dementia, and I was like,
yeah. Not great.
don't tell me
Uh,
about this show and I won't watch it. And yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
So I've seen some of it. The earlier seasons that I've sat through, I thought really entertaining. Yeah,
yeah. She's great in it.
she's amazing. Oh, that's Fiona,
And
right? Emmy Rossum.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she is also great in Day After Tomorrow. The Peak After
Dude,
Tomorrow, as
you
I
know
like
what
to
I
refer
really
to it.
want to do is do a disaster movies episode where we just run
Yes.
through like Roland Emmerich and like San Andreas, and
God, San
I don't
Andreas is so bad, but
I
I
love it,
love it.
bro. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Um dude, there's
Um,
this line. I gotta do a little anecdote. Speaking of me and my dad watching shitty movies together,
yeah,
we went to see San Andreas together, and there's this scene where Paul Giamatti is in San Andreas somehow.
dude, Paul
And
Giamatti is. I love him.
there's this fucking scene right when the earthquakes are about to hit, and somebody's talking to Paul Giamatti. I don't remember, and he's like, "Who do we call?" And me and my dad look at each other and we go, "Call everyone." And then Paul Giamatti goes, "Call everyone," and we started laughing so fucking hard. We had the theater to ourselves for this movie. Like, I'm telling you, why I love the Beekeeper so much is because we eat up this fucking garbage like crazy.
Yeah, dude.
I love San
That's
Andreas.
how I am with shitty Liam Neeson movies.
Yeah,
I love shitty
dude.
Liam Neeson movies.
Same. I like the.
Um,
You know what? Okay, I need a little sidebar so we can talk about
yes,
two Liam Neeson gems because today's episode is a Yap session. We're gonna yap.
yes, it is.
Let's talk about Cold Pursuit. Have you seen
I
this
haven't
movie?
seen Cold
Holy
Pursuit,
shit. Cold
but
Pursuit is amazing.
I feel like Taken gets hated on.
Yeah.
That movie is amazing.
Taken is
That-
awesome.
It's so good. And another one that gets hated on, The Commuter. Have you seen The Commuter?
Yeah, I watched
Dude,
it last year.
Commuter is
Commuter's awesome.
dope.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Okay, so I want to talk about Cold Pursuit really quick. But
Yeah.
first, I need to shout out Nonstop. The film noir set on a fucking plane.
Oh, I haven't
Have you seen
that
it?
one. No,
Dude.
but I remember the trailer coming out for that one.
Nonstop is so good. I
Yeah.
actually think it's a good movie. Cold Pursuit is like. Did you watch The Simpsons?
Yeah, I've watched.
So-
I haven't seen like every.
Imagine
episode,
if Mr.
but
Plow was Liam Neeson and he was just murdering people.
that sounds
And
amazing. But
the best
Nonstop,
part-
Here it is.
Yeah, Nonstop is awesome. I think it's on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Prime right now.
Prime,
for
sick.
me.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore.
Dude,
Oh,
it's really good.
and
But
Michelle Dockery.
Cold Pursuit is this crazy dark comedy action movie, and every time Liam Neeson kills somebody, they put like a fucking in memoriam on the screen. Like it cuts to a black screen, and it's like the character's name that you just killed.
God,
It's like
I
their
love
date
that.
of birth and like a memoriam about them. It's amazing. Go watch it.
Yeah.
It's great.
But I love The Commuter because
Commuter's sick.
Vera Farmiga is in it,
Oh,
and anything with Vera Farmiga is a W. She is amazing.
it's like Source Code if it wasn't a sci-fi movie. It's just like train thrillers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Source. Also, shout out to Source Code.
Source Code.
Peak.
Shout out Peak. I think I have like a 4.5. Love that
A
movie.
really underrated one. A Walk Among Two Tombstones.
I need to watch that. I saw you logged it.
It's like a detective noir
I love
movie,
noir.
and Dan Stevens is in it, and David
I
Harbour.
love Dan Stevens, bro.
Dude, Dan Stevens, man. We're going
Have you
on
seen
all
The
kinds
Guest?
of The Guest. No, but it's on my watch list.
Bro, you
And
watch it as soon as possible. Dan Stephen cooks in that movie like crazy.
I watched like the majority of it. You know how like sometimes on TikTok, like it'll just be like the clips of movies.
Yeah.
I sat there and watched
Dude,
Guest
The
for like
Guest
40
is
minutes.
so fucking good. I love The Guest.
I love Dan Stevens. He's great. He was also in Night at the Museum 3 as Sir Lancelot.
Really?
Dude, and his opening scene is badass. He just beats the shit out of a triceratops. It's awesome. Yeah. God, we are going places.
I don't even remember what you were talking about.
Mystic River.
Yeah. How do we get from Mystic River to Night at the Museum?
I have no fucking clue. But Mystic River, fucking peak. Amazing.
Yeah.
Really.
I watched that movie when I was younger.
Yeah, it's really dark.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get great acting performances from Sean Penn. Tim Robbins is amazing. Kevin Bacon is amazing. And that's interesting because Clint Eastwood is famous for not having great acting in his movies because he is really famous for only doing 1 or 2 takes for a scene and then being
really?
done.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you go, you can really notice it in Gran Torino. Because some of the acting is like, ugh. But you're like, that was definitely just like 1 take. Also, I want to shout out that Lawrence Fishburne, the only main character that's a person of color, is named Whitey Powers. Just crazy. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if Clint Eastwood is trying to say something, but
that's crazy.
That's wild. Not great, but Lawrence Fishburne does give a.
What did you give Mystic River?
Mystic River, I gave a 4.5.
Nice.
Yeah, I think there was a few parts of it that I didn't. At the end of it, I was like, okay, this is either a 4.5 or a 5, and I just didn't feel great about giving it a 5. Like I didn't feel like it deserved that. So I was like, all right, we're gonna go. With
I gotta go back to that.
Yeah, it's streaming.
My parents owned it on DVD, and I watched it when I was like 14, and I was like, "This is the most depressing shit I've ever seen in my entire life."
It's so depressing.
Yeah.
I can't remember who actually ended up. Oh no, I do remember now. Yeah, never mind.
I don't remember, so
I'll
watch it.
Why don't you go ahead with your next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna make this one a bit quicker. Speaking of Lawrence Fishburne, I watched The Signal. Shout out to Remy again. Peak. I got this in the film raffle. It's on Netflix. This is a very low budget sci-fi thriller. I don't want to say anything about the plot because it's really crazy.
Yeah, I saw you logged this and I added it to my watch list.
I gave this 4 stars. It's like 90 minutes. Really, really entertaining. The third act is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, go watch it. That's all I want to say about it. Go watch it. It's really cool.
I need to check that out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next one. Do you know how like if you go into stats, you can see like does Pro have stats?
Yeah, Pro has stats.
Okay. Do you know how you can see like the collections? Like these are the collections you've completed. Like you've watched all of these. Yeah. So I like completing those. Makes me feel good. And I was like, I didn't know what to watch the other day. So I was like, looked into collections almost completed. And I was like, oh, I only need to watch Jurassic Park 3 to finish the Jurassic Park collection. So gave that a rewatch. I mean, it's definitely better than 2. Jurassic Park 2 is rough. You got some great gore in that movie. But that's about it. It's like it is over 2 hours. It's an hour, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's way too long. I mean, you have Vince Vaughn in it, which is pretty great. And Julianne Moore. But that's about it. That makes it good. The rest of it's pretty shit. But Jurassic Park 3, it's not terrible. You got William H. Macy. You got a little bit of Tia Leone, Sam Neill. But I mean, it's not the best, but it's still a fun time, you know. So completed my Jurassic Park collection.
Nice. I'll have to check that out. What'd you give that?
3 stars. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's not my favorite Joe Johnston film. Who, if you look at his filmography, my man cooks. Yeah, he did the first Captain America, which I think is the most underrated.
So underrated. It's so underrated, dude.
Oh my god, dude. It holds up so well.
Yeah.
That's the first Marvel movie I saw in the theater. Saw that
Nice.
opening night, and that's when I fell in love with Captain America.
Love
That
that.
movie's so good. He also directed Jumanji, the Robin Williams one,
Peak.
which just another childhood classic.
What a heater.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
Who plays the who plays the hunter again? Jonathan Hyde plays the hunter in that movie. Terrifying. Haunted my nightmares as a child. What about you? What's the next one for you?
Yeah, my next one is Southland Tales. So
W.
let's get into it. This movie is bonkers. This is like David Lynch-esque. It's very Mulholland Drive-esque. Lots of storylines going on. Does not make very much sense. Lots of big, deep themes. It's ridiculous. This movie stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It stars, let me pull the cast up really quick. Sean William Scott, Sarah Michelle Gellar, classic Scream Queen from, I believe, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Or no, she's in Scream. Yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer. She's in Scream 2. She was in Scooby-Doo, the blonde from Scooby-Doo.
Dude, I haven't watched that in so long. I haven't watched that since I was a kid.
Justin Timberlake, Mandy Moore.
Love JT.
Classic Vine star Will Sasso. I don't know if you ever checked him out back in the day.
Will Sasso. I'm sure if I saw his face.
He used to do Doobie Brothers impersonations on Vine.
Oh shit! This guy. He was the. This is gonna sound really stupid that this is what I know him from, but he was in the Three Stooges movie.
Yes, he was. I know exactly.
That's what I remember him from.
Yeah, so the cast is like weirdly stacked with random actors from varying levels.
Obviously.
This movie has a sick-ass premise. It is about a dystopian United States of America where 2 nuclear bombs were dropped on Texas, and it's kind of the fallout of that years down the line. It doesn't really deal with like how fucking crazy nuclear bombs are dropped and that they've recovered society very quickly. It's more about the politics of like right-wing people trying to just control the world. It's very, very, capitalism is this and capitalism's that. And it's very political. It's also beyond ridiculous. There's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He plays a movie star, and some stuff happens to him, and he's trying to film this movie. So he's like following Sean William Scott around, who is a cop that he wants to like shadow for a day, and then Sarah Michelle Gellar is a porn star who is trying to like get I don't even know how to describe it. This movie is ridiculous. The third act of this movie is so beyond bonkers and goes into crazy sci-fi territory.
Hell yeah, man.
It's convoluted, it's messy as fuck, it's weird.
John Lovitz is in it?
Yeah.
I love John Lovitz.
He pops up for like 2 scenes and he is so weird.
Dude, he's so funny. I love him so much.
Shout out to friend of the show, Alan. Alan recommended this to a bunch of people, and he said when you watch it...
Oscar.
He just watched it yesterday. Yeah, he gave it 4 stars.
Oh, he liked it too. Oh, man,
yeah.
I'm really good. I trust Oscar's takes most of the time.
So we were given a disclaimer when watching this movie to watch the Cannes cut, the Cannes Film Festival cut of this movie. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It's a long movie. I think the pacing is phenomenal. It goes by really quick.
Yeah.
I had to go to some interesting websites to find this movie. I'm not going to lie, because you pretty much have to buy. You have to buy the Blu-ray to get access to this Cannes Film Festival cut.
Yeah.
This movie was bombed at Cannes Film Festival, booing, people saying it's a piece of shit, absolute mess.
Yeah,
it is a mess. This movie's crazy.
The best things need time to be appreciated.
If you're in the mood for something that you don't really care about understanding and is super weird and funny and it's very entertaining. The Rock plays like a secret agent.
Would this be something good to throw on while I play like Fortnite or something? Or should this have like my full undivided attention?
I mean, yes and no. it's really entertaining and it's not crazy, but there's so many plot points going on, and this movie is ridiculously convoluted. So
Hell
you
yeah.
would probably
We love
be
that.
even more like confused.
Yeah. I can
He
already
sent
guarantee
us
you my review is going to be what the fuck just happened.
yeah, Alan sent us a link of a reporter writing like an explanation of the movie
Oh, okay.
that helped a lot actually. But yeah, Southland Tales, go watch it. I haven't seen the original cut, so I don't really, or the theatrical cut, so I can't speak to that. But I gave this movie 5 stars. It is so entertaining. I don't
Hell yeah.
care that it's messy. I don't care that it's convoluted.
Yeah.
It's so entertaining. It blows by runtime wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, go watch it.
Let's see.
It's
I
also
don't.
the best movie The Rock has ever made, by the way. So yeah, he's
Yeah.
really good in it.
I'm gonna do 2 here.
Yeah, go for it.
Since you only have 2 left.
Yeah, because the next watch for me is The Beekeeper. So
Yeah, we can just skip that since you already
yeah,
talked about it. So I continued with my Marvel rewatch. I was doing chores and I just decided to throw the next thing on, Black Widow. This is the first time I had seen this since it came out.
I haven't even seen it yet.
It's not the worst. People hate on it way too much. It has some dope ass action sequences.
The only thing I've seen of Black Widow is that scene. I think it's of Florence Pugh or Scarlett Johansson jumping from an explosion, and the CGI is so bad. The CGI is
some of the
bad.
green screen moments are really shitty. But the first 2 acts are really solid. You have some dope hand-to-hand combat scenes.
It's got David Harbour. We love him. Yeah,
he's an absolute delight in this movie. So funny.
Is.
Rachel Weisz, again, just great in everything she's in. So she is enjoyable in this as well. Are you a fan at all of the comics?
I like them, but I don't read them often.
Yeah. So do you know who the Taskmaster is?
Yeah.
Okay, and you know how dope he is in the comics.
Yeah,
and how badass. Yeah, that's
how dirty
my biggest.
They do her
that's
in
my
the movie.
biggest problem with this.
That's
movie
crazy.
Is they just they completely took everything away that makes the Taskmaster great, except the fact that he can mirror anyone.
Yeah.
They took away everything that makes him great.
I actually learned the Taskmaster from the Spider-Man video games.
Yeah,
dope as hell in there.
That's how he is supposed to be. But they just ruined. I mean, I get it. They wanted to have him as a plot point in this movie to be. Do you mind if I spoil it?
No, go.
Yeah, to be Dreykov's daughter that Natasha supposedly killed. I get that. You want to have it as a plot point. But if you're going to do that, choose a different villain. Choose a different way to go. Don't ruin a fan favorite.
Yeah.
That really pissed me off because I do love Taskmaster in the comics. And one of the big things that makes him great in the comics is his banter. And there is that character doesn't speak once in Black Widow.
It's like Deadpool and X-Men.
Yeah, it's terrible. But other than that, it's a pretty good movie. It's an enjoyable watch.
Like a 3-star, 2.5.
I gave it a 3. I give it a 3.5. I'm a bit higher up because I love ScarJo and I kind of want to watch it. You should definitely watch it. I think it's worth a watch. It definitely has its issues, like every other Marvel movie. But I mean, it's a Marvel. At the end of the day, if you're a fan of Marvel like me, there's always going to be stuff to enjoy from a Marvel movie.
One thing that I think I might actually like it for is that I like self-contained, isolated Marvel shows, movies, whatever.
Yeah. That's why I love Guardians so much.
Yeah, I love Guardians. I love Shang-Chi.
Oh, Shang-Chi's dope.
Shang-Chi
That's the next one on my lineup.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might actually check it out.
It's an enjoyable time.
It's nice that like every single Marvel movie's on Disney Plus too, so you don't have to.
Yeah, well, and if you go into the Marvel section, they have it in like timeline order.
So
they or in like release order. So you're just like, oh, I watched this. Okay, this is next. Cool.
Nice.
Which I really enjoy. And then after that, did that conclude? Oh, I finished that day with rewatching one of my. I think last episode we were talking about how much Denis Villeneuve cooks.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to rewatch something of his. I need to something peak. So I decided to finally log and rewatch Sicario. Holy fuck, dude!
It's glaze o'clock. Let's fucking get into it, dude.
Dude,
Oh
it's
my
so
God.
good. I mean, let's just talk about Denis for a sec.
Yeah.
Bro cooks.
Yeah.
There is no genre that man cannot do.
Yeah.
He is masterful.
He
and
really
this
is.
movie, it's paced so unbelievably, along with how great this score is and how it drives the plot and how, God, dude, that scene where they're crossing back over the border.
Oh my God. It's one of the best scenes maybe ever.
Dude, you know what? I just want to cook that up in a spoon, put it in a needle, and inject it straight into my veins, dude. That scene is so
It's crazy.
good, dude.
It's so good. And talk about technical masterpiece. The lighting in this movie, the tunnel scene,
it's unbelievable.
It's perfect.
It's so good.
Sicario is so fucking good.
And Benicio del Toro.
Oh my God, what a badass.
So good. Josh Brolin, just...
him and his flip-flops, bro.
Oh my God, dude. And even the name Sicario is...
It means like assassin, hitman.
Yeah, so, and they say it in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the times of... it goes back... The word Sicario has its origins in Latin, specifically the Latin word Sicarius, which means assassin or dagger man. In ancient Rome, Sicari, plural of Sicarius, were a group of Jewish zealots or terrorists who were they were basically like Jewish assassins who would kill Romans that like came out against and tried to like evacuate or like kill off the Jews. They were like assassins in the night. And I'm like, God, this is just everything that goes into this movie is
so
just
fucking...
It's perfect.
He has so much juice in that movie.
He has so much I've yet to see a Denis Villeneuve movie that I feel like putting under a 4.5.
Yeah, the only one I have low, I haven't seen two of his movies, I think. I watched Polytechnique.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a movie on there. It's about a school shooting. I'll probably never watch it again. It's pretty tough to get through.
Yeah.
It's intense. I like it. It's probably like a 4.
Yeah.
Still good, but yeah. That's an early movie. Like, he's found his flow of just being badass.
And he's Canadian.
Yeah.
But, like,
what a beast.
I just want to go hang out with Denis Villeneuve.
Pick his brain.
He just cooks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes 2 of the best sci-fi films in the past 10 years with Dune and Arrival and Blade Runner.
I thought you were going to say Blade Runner.
And then he makes Prisoners and Sicario, 2 of the best like crime thrillers.
Yeah.
And then just cooks with Enemy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's... And Enemy, I feel like, is one that is misunderstood a lot. I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I
need to rewatch it.
So good. But yeah, watch Sicario.
What I really love about Denis is how almost every single person I've seen who has a ranking of his movies, it's different.
Yeah.
Because people love him for different reasons, because he's such a diverse filmmaker. Like, he cooks on so many different aspects that you can be like, oh, Sicario is my favorite, and like, okay.
I really can't choose a favorite, because then I'm like, oh, this one. Oh, but wait, there's that one too. I mean, honestly,
I don't even know what I have at number 1, because it could be any of them. It
might be Prisoners.
I think Prisoners is my number 1. I'm not sure.
But like,
so
any
good.
answer is a W.
Acceptable. Yeah.
Like, you're like, yeah, that's a great movie. Like, I don't know, dude. It's so hard because they're all so good. And they're all so good for so many different reasons. He's a god. He's a god among men. I think he's one of the greatest directors of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's a crazy take. I think just because of how high he doesn't have that many like big films, but just because of how highly I have all of his films
Yeah.
rated. I mean, he just cooks.
And
He
Dune 2
doesn't
in
miss.
less than 2 months is going to be.
Modern day Kubrick.
Yeah.
I feel confident saying that. All right, what about you? You got I think
Yeah.
Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah. Speaking of Kubrick, my next watch was Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Peak
Yes.
title, peak movie, fucking hilarious. I won't go into
Yes.
it too much because we're going to talk about it next week, but
Mm-hmm.
I watched this movie in my political science class in university, so
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 years ago. Didn't remember much about it. I had it at a 4 just like as a placeholder. It's a
Yeah.
4.5 now. It's very high on my I honestly think it's probably higher than Full Metal Jacket for me.
Wow.
Yeah, because I think Full Metal Jacket dips a lot in the second act, right when they first get to Vietnam. And this movie is a very tight 90 minutes. It is hilarious. It's
Pure
so
comedy,
funny.
dude.
And honestly, one thing I noticed watching it today was uh, the scenes where they attack Ripper's base
Mm-hmm.
are super intense. These war scenes are crazy. They're like
Yeah.
really well directed, and the effects are
Well, the
great.
best one is where they're charging Ripper's base and they're all like shooting at the building right beside the sign that says "Peace is our profession."
Yeah.
God, dude, it's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, Ripper is hilarious. Like he's like, only normal people drink water. You see those Ruskies? They've never drank water. They only drink vodka. Water is the essence of life. Like, and then one of the funniest scenes in the movie is when they're in the war room, and I don't know how to say his name, but the main sergeant or whatever.
Buck Turgidson.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He gets
Best
a call from his
character.
wife in the war room, but he's like, everyone's watching him, and he's just like, hey, no, it's okay, go back to sleep. She's like, come, and he's like, I can't come right now. And she goes,
Of course, it's not just physical.
yeah, is this just physical? Of course it's not physical. I value you so much as a human being and a person. Like, fucking hilarious.
And
and then he goes, I'm gonna make you Mrs. Sergeant Buck Tursinson. Like,
and the scene where the president is online with the Russian.
Oh my god, bro! It's so
of course,
fucking
Dimitri,
funny.
I'm just as upset as you are about this. It's like, no, we are the same level of upset. It's so
I love
dumb.
when he's like, do you think I'd be calling you if you weren't if this wasn't urgent? And he's like, of course I'd call you. You're my good friend. I love calling you.
Of course I want to talk to you, Dimitri.
It's like an insecure best friend. It's so fucking funny, dude.
It's, gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Oh my god, it's so
good.
It's so good. It was better than I remembered. So I gave that a 4.5. Peak. We'll talk about it more on Tuesday. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, peak.
Do you just want to do your last one, and then I'll bust through my last few?
Yeah. My last one I watched this afternoon. I watched Doctor Strangelove this morning, and then I watched this afternoon. I watched The Watch, which I saw in theaters.
This is one we disagree on.
This movie is so fucking funny. I watched this while I was playing Monster Hunter, and I was just cackling to myself. Yeah. Vince Vaughn has so many one-liners in this movie. I was dying.
He does in every movie. Vince Vaughn is an American treasure.
He's dropping just all these one-liners. This one scene where right when they kill the first alien, and they're like, oh my god. And Vince Vaughn just goes, fuck this. You guys want to take some snappers with the alien? And then they just do like this montage of selfies with him. Vince Vaughn is hysterical. Jonah Hill's really funny. Richard Ayoade is like, and then check this. She sucks my balls. And then they go to the orgy and the lady's like, can I suck your balls? He's like, oh, I'm going to stay here. Like, it's really funny. I remember it being a pretty shit movie, but then like, it's dumb, but it made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't make me laugh enough for me to. I can't remember what I gave that movie.
It's pretty immature humor. It was just like maybe a good mood. Very different humor from Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah. It's like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched. So just my last ones. I checked off another film in the Insidious universe. Watched Insidious 3. Honestly, pretty solid.
It's pretty good, yeah.
It's kind of like a prequel. It's when like Elise first gets together
Yeah.
with Specs and Tucker. So it takes place before the first Insidious movie. It was pretty
Is that
good.
the one with the girl with the broken legs?
Yeah, dude. Some
Yeah, that
pretty
was a good one.
solid
That was
jump
creepy.
scares that definitely got me. Creepy. Elise is a goated character. I love Elise Rainier,
Yeah,
especially
Lin
when she
Shaye is
beats
just
up.
a beast.
Yeah, especially when she beats up that ghost, and then calls her a bitch. Oh, I loved that.
Dude,
That
Lin
was
Shaye is in that
awesome.
movie, The Signal, that I watched. Jump scare.
Yeah,
Crazy.
really.
She's great. Oh, yeah. She's
I
great.
love her. And also underrated actor Dermot Mulroney.
Yeah, he's great.
Um, I love him. He's in Scream 6. He's in Burn After Reading. He's also in New Girl, which I don't know if you're a fan of,
Yeah, I love New
Evan.
Girl. I've
I
seen it like
love New
4 or
Girl.
5 times.
He plays Russell.
Yeah, scumbag.
Just so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty good. 3 stars.
nice.
Rewatched. I'm as well as MCU. I'm doing a Star Wars rewatch, so I can log all of them. Just rewatched Empire Strikes Back. Number 3 for me in the Star Wars universe. Really good. Great.
Nice.
Excellently paced.
Peak.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made. Irvin Kershner just cooked here. Also, shout out to what's his name? God, he does the voice of Vader.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Shout out to James Earl Jones for giving one of the greatest voice acting performances in cinema history in the Star Wars movies. Just cooking. And then last night I watched It Comes at Night.
It's so good. It's so fucking good, bro.
Some great body horror. Some great just like atmospheric horror. I loved this. I could see this on rewatch being bumped up to a 5-star.
Okay.
This is like something that like I just eat this type. It's like this very specific type of horror that I just eat up.
Creepy ass slow burn.
Yeah, Riley Key. I don't know how to say her last name.
Keough or something like that. Yeah.
She's not only an amazing actress, she's also very pretty. I always enjoy her. She's in one called The Lodge. That
dude
is just it's a total ripoff.
Shit.
It's a total ripoff of like all of Ari Aster's work.
Yeah.
But it's really good. I don't care. I love it.
Dude, we've been going for a long time. I don't really care. This is a Yap episode. It's going to be a bit longer. It's going to go a bit longer. That's okay, because I have 2 little things I need to say. I put The Lodge on. I went over to my girlfriend's house before we were living together. I was like, I saw this movie on Shudder. It sounds kind of cool. We put it on. The first scene of this movie, I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Oh, I can't
Spoilers, this movie opens with a crazy suicide.
Oh, do you remember? No, I do remember that. I do remember that.
And then this
because
movie
that's what first ticked me off. That I was like, did Ari Aster have a hand in this? Because of the opening of Midsommar.
Right. Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Yeah.
Like long takes, super eerie. The Lodge is creepy as fuck, and it's super dark. I loved it. Super dark.
Great Christmas movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Unofficial Christmas movie.
Yeah. I need to really. Sorry. Do you have more about The Lodge?
No. Go ahead.
So you talked about It Comes at Night. I saw this movie in the theaters.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of like 15-year-old teenagers that they walked in, they watched it, they walked out halfway through because they thought it was boring. Fuck them. Yeah. They were, because the trailer for this movie is baity as fuck. It is super baity. It makes it look like a jump scare horror movie. It's not. It's a slow burn.
Yeah, it's really slow.
It Comes at Night is directed by my 3rd favorite director of all time, Trey Edwards Schultz.
I've never seen anything else by him.
Okay, so I'm going to go on a little tangent. He directed Krisha. Krisha it was a short film that he made.
I've seen the short film.
Yeah, so then he turned it into a full movie. It's like 80, not even 80 minutes. It's like 75 minutes long. It's about a family at Thanksgiving. It is so ridiculously tense and creepy and
love that.
Very, very, very good. And then he directed my favorite A24 movie of all time, Waves.
Yeah.
Waves is a
Taylor
family.
Russell is in it.
Yeah.
I love Taylor Russell. She's great.
Yeah. So Waves is a family drama.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to know. It's kind of split in half between two different stories in this family. The first half is about the son, the second half is about the daughter. It's a heavy movie. It has an amazing soundtrack. The cinematography is phenomenal. It utilizes aspect ratio changes really well. I love it. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, Trey Edward Schultz is phenomenal. I highly recommend you check out all his movies.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Next one, the two I watched today. I watched Words on the Bathroom Walls.
Dude, when you logged that, I thought it was like a short film that you were just logging for fun, and it was just like actual words on a wall.
No, it's like a teen drama with Charlie Plummer, who I really enjoy.
Okay.
And Taylor Russell, who, as I've said, I really enjoy.
Nice.
Also, Walton Goggins is in it. God, my guy.
Love that guy.
He's part of the exclusives club of actors that make every movie better by just randomly being in them. Only 2 members, him and Michael Shannon.
Oh fuck, man! What a
Michael
juicy.
Shannon, man! What
Love
a guy!
Michael Shannon. Have you ever seen the Family Guy cutaway of Michael Shannon?
No.
It's so funny. It's like, this is hard. Peter's talk. He's like, this is harder than my day trying to keep Michael Shannon calm. And it's like, he's on a movie set with Michael Shannon. And he's sitting behind him. And he's like, a calm beach, nice waves, a nice summer day. And then somebody comes up to Peter and he's like, can you sign these forms? And Peter's like, oh yeah. And so he looks away from Michael Shannon. He looks back. Michael Shannon has murdered every single person on this film set, and there's blood and body parts everywhere. Like, search it up on YouTube. And he's like, "It's okay. We'll try again tomorrow." It's fucking hilarious.
It's really funny. I love Michael Shannon.
Me too.
I've never seen him in anything where he's like a lead role, but he's always
You should watch Take Shelter.
Oh, is he a lead? Oh,
Yeah.
He is a lead role in that. That's come up on my watch list.
Take Shelter's really good.
But he is always like a small supporting role. But he always just steals the show. It's like
he's so good in The Shape of Water too.
And another one that I just watched with him, The Night Before. Best character in The Night Before.
Oh my god, so good.
I love Michael Shannon so much. I love that he just randomly pops up and stuff, and you're like, oh shit, it's Michael Shannon. The same thing with Walton Goggins. He'll just randomly pop up in movies, and you're like, oh shit, Walton Goggins.
Hilarious.
But yeah, Words on Bathroom Walls. Charlie Plummer, Taylor Russell, about a kid with schizophrenia.
Ooh.
Struggling with mental health and all that good stuff. You also got what's the Roderick, that actor.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Star of Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Devin Bostick. Anna Sophia Robb is in it as well. The young girl from Bridge to Terabithia.
Nice.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was really sad. You know, any movie that's going to deal with mental health like that is going to be really
I love
sad.
films about schizophrenia.
I can't relate to the schizophrenia stuff, but I can relate to like there's a lot of him like experiencing isolation and just hard life stuff, and I can relate to a lot of that. So, but I mean, other than that, it was fine. Wasn't anything amazing. Wasn't anything I'd seen before. Shout out to Andy Garcia, giving the most wholesome role of 2020 in this movie.
Nice.
Love Andy Garcia. He plays like a priest in this movie, and just unbelievably wholesome. Gave that 3 stars. And then right before we recorded, I finished Return of the Jedi. Return of the Mid.
Return of the fucking mid as hell. Oh my god.
We're going to get ripped apart for this.
I don't even care.
It's not good.
This movie sucks. It's so boring.
Really bad. This is when Star Wars started going downhill. And yes, of course I'm going to watch the prequels. And of course I'm going to enjoy giving them all anywhere from a half star to a 1.5 star. It's gonna bring me so much joy. This movie's not good. It's not. It's fine. You know, it's it's whatever. And like, more power to you if you like it. I just don't. Doesn't work.
I had never seen Return of the Jedi, and actually no, I saw it on VHS. We had it as when I was a kid. I didn't remember it though. And then Force Awakens came out. My brother, the absolute lunatic, he's a diehard Star Wars fan. The day it was the week Force Awakens came out, he went to a marathon, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row, followed by a showing of Force Awakens in the same session. Dude. It was a full day. He was like, yeah, I probably slept through like parts of Attack of the Clones. And it was like 10-minute breaks between the movies.
That's insane.
He paid like $50, $60 to do this. And he was like, honestly, I'll never do it again. But like,
if they did that for like, they were coming out with like a 4th Lord of the Rings movie or something. Or if they did like a Marvel version of that where you pay like $100 and it's like 15 people in a theater and they take out all the seats and you set up like tents and shit and they're just playing every movie.
Yeah.
I would go do that if it was like Marvel. But I mean, Star Wars, man, they're not that good. They don't get good again until The Force Awakens after Empire. But also, I think I messaged you while I was watching Empire, something I want to shout out. Han Solo, the Riz God, King. Dude. Yeah. Just, oh my God. He was like flirting it up with Leia, and I was like, oh man, he's winning me over. Jesus Christ, Harrison Ford. Love that. I think that's it for me, though. Return of the Jedi. I'm in the middle of, or I'm like 20 minutes into Monuments Men right now.
Oh, God. I've heard
I don't really know if I'm going to finish it. It's really boring. Even though I love Clooney and Damon together. But yeah, it's really boring. So I might just not finish that. And
I don't
something
blame
else. But yeah, that's the pod today.
That's our Yap Session.
Longest episode
somehow we came in with no topic.
Yeah.
Super fun. We'll have to sprinkle some Yap Sessions in.
Yes, that was really fun. Longest episode of the Average Film Enjoyer being clocked in. What are we at? Hour 47.
Hour 47. Right, that's crazy.
Thank you for listening today. Next week, the week is looking like Tuesday. We will be doing part 3 of our Kubrick series with Doctor Strangelove in 2001: A Space Odyssey. And
then we have a fucking heater on Friday.
Yeah,
oh my God.
IMDb on Tuesday as well. We will be reviewing Spotlight. So go check that out before
I'm kind of scared
on Tuesday.
I've seen Spotlight. Have you ever seen it? I've seen it when it first came out, but I don't remember it, and I'm not excited to rewatch it because it's just
something that you need to follow up with, like Dumb and Dumber or Ventura.
Yeah, I'm following it up with Cheaper by the Dozen too, for sure.
100%. It's heavy as shit. It's really sad because it's true.
Yeah.
And so we're reviewing that on Tuesday. Next Friday, we got a heater coming.
I cannot wait to talk about Barry
Friday
Lyndon,
night
bro.
double feature.
Oh my God.
Part 4 with A Clockwork Orange and Barry Lyndon.
The peak Barry Lyndon. The movie where every scene is a fucking Picasso masterpiece.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Very much looking forward to that. And then I'm going to start giving you guys heads up 2 weeks in advance so you can prepare. I believe in after our Spotlight episode, our next IMDb movie, I don't want to be... Yes, we'll be talking about debatably one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, Logan. Very excited for that. I'm excited to hear Jagger's thoughts and just get absolutely triggered by that.
Dude, I think I'm going to rewatch the James McAvoy. Well, First Class and Days of Future Past.
I think I might start with X1 and then just work my way.
I probably won't watch Phoenix and...
I won't watch Dark Phoenix because I watched that later or earlier last year. And then in 2 Fridays, let's see. In 2 weeks, we will be doing... I don't want movies he's acted in. I want movies he's directed. We will be doing possibly The Shining and Full Metal Jacket in one episode, but it will most likely be our first one where we just do one. My favorite Kubrick, I think Jagger's favorite Kubrick, The Shining.
Not mine, but
it's peak.
I can't wait to talk about The Shining. Yeah, The Shining's so amazing.
But yeah, thank you for joining us today. If you want to follow us on our socials, Jagger is Jagger Film Fan on Letterboxd, Jagger the Movie Guy on Instagram and Twitch, and Jagger Film Reviews on TikTok and Twitter. Evan is Evan O 567 on Letterboxd, and I am Trey the Film Noob, basically everywhere. Thank you for joining us today. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check out our merch, afepod.com. And if you're listening on Spotify, follow us. Leave us a review, please. Comment down below if you've seen Southland Tales and what your thoughts are.
Yeah, please.
Other movies we should yap about. Just like what's the most random movie you would like to hear us talk about?
And I'll watch it. I watch everything, so tell me something to watch.
Me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, join us Tuesday. And everybody, have a good weekend.